Hey guys, this is the Lovin Dubai show. We spoke about the second relief drive for Lebanon happening this weekend. All of the details on that. Also, the Las Vegas Sphere. What's happening with that? Is it actually coming to Abu Dhabi? And how long it's going to take you to get from Abu Dhabi to Dubai on the Etihad rail.
And if you have missed the episode, don't forget to subscribe to the Lovin Dubai show podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, and enjoy.
Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story for you today: Dubai launches its second collection drive for Lebanon relief.
As well, the viral Las Vegas Sphere is coming to Abu Dhabi.
Also, there is a Dubai-based gossip girl who's showing up on your TikTok feeds.
As well, Etihad rail will take you from Abu Dhabi to Dubai in only 57 minutes.
And later on in the show, You've Got This, a new mental health podcast for expats, launches in Dubai. And we're going to speak to the podcastees. I was trying to get the word for that. The people who've made the podcast, Kat and Yvonne, are coming on the show.
As well, in today's rapid weather report, highs of 37 degrees, humidity is at 69%, which I think I'm very excited for the weather. Yesterday, I posted a very funny story. It was a sarcastic one. Clearly, it was hot.
But I know when you call your stories funny.
And then,
and you know they're funny.
Because I put it, and then I'm like, oh, I love winter.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah, I love winter. Dot.
I nearly think we're nearly there, but it's still pretty sticky, isn't it?
I mean, I love this weather. I love it because I can go out and not feel very hot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm on the same page. Although it's nearly cool season, it's also GITEX season, and this is your GITEX traffic alert brought to you by the RTA. You can expect delays on Shakeside Road happening now, so if you can take Al Maidan Road, please do so, and also take alternative routes if possible. The RTA is using this incredible AI-powered traffic management system to help manage rush hour traffic. It's truly amazing. It's using real-time data to help with the live traffic updates. If you can, please stay tuned to the RTA on social media for those up-to-the-minute updates.
I mean, I love how the RTA is managing the traffic by the minute and giving updates to its people, to people who are actually attending the GITEX conference. It's beautiful because people, when you're stuck in traffic, sometimes you can get very frustrated and you can be like, oh my God, I don't want to go there anymore. I'm tired. Khalas, I don't want to go. I want to avoid that place at all costs. However, of course,
they're giving the updates and they're also showing it. So while it's happening on ground, they're also showing you at GITEX how it's happening, which I think is super cool. So Mohammed Al Ali, the Director of Intelligent Traffic Systems Department at the RTA, he actually shed light on how the RTA employs AI and big data. So basically what they're doing now to boost traffic management efficiency in Dubai, basically improving quality of life, making traffic better. It's happening on the streets. We're seeing this AI controlled unit out there getting us those real-time updates. So stay tuned with Lovin Dubai and also check out the RTA. They're fabulous on social media. We always say this, getting the updates to you as quickly as possible, particularly on their X account.
Well, of course, now the best advice I could ever give anyone is that you guys can plan ahead. Because if you guys plan ahead, then you can know whether you're going to be commuting through your own vehicle or through the taxi through the metro. But I personally would advise going through the metro.
100%, so efficient, so quick and cost friendly, which we always talk about. Before we jump into our top stories, a question I'd like to put to you is, what age, in what year do you consider old? So, for example, we were thinking of Friends, right? What year was Friends made?
1994, 4 years before I was born. I mean, it's okay.
That's wild. So it's what age do you think is old? What year? Okay. If someone's born in what year are they old?
In what year? Maybe if they're like define old.
You know what I mean? I like old. So we're all young in our heads, right? Like even if you talk to a 60-year-old, they're probably young in their heads. So they probably think someone born a little bit older than them is old, so they would give probably just beyond their age bracket.
Yeah, well, define old. Like define old. Is it old like? Okay, fine. I'll just answer. I'll just stop. And if I'm offending anyone, I am sorry. I don't mean that. But I think old is like in the late 70s, early 80s, like 1970s.
Interesting. Yeah, that's old.
You know?
No, I think like, so I'm 1989.
Okay.
So I think 90s babies are super young. I can't even imagine if you've been born in the thousands what age you must be. but you just go like beyond your bracket. So like I'm going to say someone born in like early 80s is to me old.
Okay.
Like that's when I'm going to have my adult cap on. When I'm that much older. I think you're being politically correct for the sake of the show, which I don't really.
I mean, look, to be very quite honest
I think you're being politically correct because you're sitting beside an old person, which I really appreciate, actually.
You're not old. You're actually really young. You know, like when I was
See
like...
what I'm talking about?
No.
She's so politically correct.
Tactics.
I appreciate it. Also, people jumping in on the show, also giving traffic advice. Really appreciate that too. Talking about take a cab if possible. Okay, let's jump into our top stories. Dubai launches second collection drive for Lebanon relief. So following a hugely successful first public donation drive last week for the UAE Stands with the Lebanon campaign at Expo City Dubai, the UAE will host a second aid collection drive this Sunday.
Now, the public response to the campaign launched under the directives of President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and the follow-up of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Vice President, Deputy Prime Minister and Chairman of the President Court, has been truly amazing.
The aim of the campaign is to collect cash and in-kind donations, and the collection and packing of food parcels and shelter supplies will be organised. There's also actually one happening on Saturday the 19th. That's at Expo City in Sharjah, and then on Sunday 20th of October from 9 to 1 at DEC Expo City Dubai. And as we said, contributions can be made in-kind donations also via the Emirates Red Crescent warehouses. You can do that also in Abu Dhabi and also the ERC warehouses in Dubai as well.
And as well, cash donations can be made through authorities' website and applications or through its official accounts. So to everyone who is wondering how can they help Lebanon and the victims of Lebanon, the UAE is providing you a lot of ways to do so, which is amazing. Because, you know, like we see that as well, like a lot of restaurants are trying to help Lebanon, and official, you know, places like Emirates Red Crescent is there. Just like you guys can do it all, for sure. Well, let's jump to our next story, which is very kind of like exciting. Would you guys believe me if I tell you that the Etihad rail that we have all been waiting for will be taking you from Abu Dhabi to Dubai in only 57 minutes? Which is, by the way, to me, I'm like, what?
It's wild.
It is wild.
But it's amazing. It's so exciting that it's finally happening.
I agree with you, and the Etihad rail marks a significant step, as we all know, towards transforming mobility in the region. However, the question of what is the travel time is revealed. As we told you, traveling between major cities will soon be more efficient than ever. Passengers can expect to reach Dubai from Abu Dhabi in just 57 minutes.
And if you live out in Ruwais, I have had some friends living out there, which is a little bit further. You can get to Abu Dhabi from Ruwais in 70 minutes, while a scenic ride to Fujairah will be completed in approximately 105 minutes. This development is part of the ambitious Etihad Rail project, which aims to create a comprehensive 1,200-kilometre rail network connecting key cities across the UAE.
While more journey times for additional destinations are expected to be unveiled in the upcoming months, as the Etihad Rail is set to define travel time and make it easier for residents and visitors. I'm so excited for the experience, honestly, not even just like going.
Yeah, you're right. I love that drive to Fujairah. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to enjoy it so much more on the train. I wonder if they'll have like special VIP compartments like they do on the metro.
I know.
And I wonder where the stops will be. Because if you have quite centralized destinations between Dubai and Abu Dhabi, it can really change the game in terms of where you live. You know, like 57 minutes is a very manageable commute, especially on a train, because then you can actually get work done, for example. So it could really open up And do you think they'll have stops on the way?
I don't think it's going to be as efficient as the metro, but I think, you know what? Actually, this is a smart idea to RTA. So maybe they can have like a collaboration done with the Dubai Metro, and people who like arrive from Abu Dhabi to Dubai can go to the other train, which is the Dubai Metro train, and then go to their destined place that they really want to go to.
Well, interesting you say that, because there was rumors about where the destination was going to be in Dubai. And the rumors were TBC, to be confirmed, but they say that potentially there might be one at Generic Office States, which is connected to a metro, which would be exactly that. So you'd be able to live in Abu Dhabi, get your 57-minute train up, and then hop on a metro.
I mean, like, let alone
avoid the traffic, no car, save the environment.
Amazing. And the thing is, like, the fact that you can get from Abu Dhabi to Dubai in 57 minutes is amazing. You know what I mean? Because, like, I know for sure that I used to live in Abu Dhabi for, like, a short time. And getting to Dubai, how much of a hassle is it? You know what I mean?
Well, hassle. Well, there is a pretty nifty bus service, and it was only 25 dirhams. So actually, it'll be interesting to see what the cost of this is, because generally public transportation is quite affordable. Trains, for example, in the UK and Ireland are so expensive. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how much the cost of this will be. But then you do have that bus service that was quite convenient, never hit traffic, 25 dirham.
I would assume maybe it's going to be like around like maximum 50. I don't know. I really hope so. But I think this is going to be so convenient, and it's going to be amazing. You know, like if I want to go on like a road trip with my friends, or like, I don't know, just like have fun and enjoy. You know, we can experience the whole thing, the whole experience on the train, and just, you know, like I've seen it in movies all the time, and I've always wondered what it is like to be like on a train.
Yeah, lovely.
I've never been on a train. My sister has, though.
Yeah. Okay.
But I always want to go to just be like, oh yeah, I'm from the movies.
Because you see those beautiful. I've been on a train a few times, but there's those beautiful trains like in the mountains of Switzerland, and people just love them. And this will be going to Fujairah, so giving people more of a reason, because it's just stunning out there. And we have no doubt that it's going to be extremely comfortable. But speaking of big announcements, this dropped yesterday and people are so excited. The viral Las Vegas Sphere is coming to Abu Dhabi. So this is big news for the capital. Sphere Entertainment Co. and the Department of Culture and Tourism in Abu Dhabi are collaborating to bring the world's second sphere to the capital of the UAE.
Well, the first sphere opened in Las Vegas in 2023, and it is a mesmerizing success, having hosted major acts like U2. Now, this fascinating entertainment project has a capacity for up to 20,000 people and is expected to be a major year-round draw for both residents and visitors from all around the world.
The Sphere will host experiential events, concerts and shows like you've never seen before, literally, and in an unforgettable setting. You can expect a jam-packed schedule of events and incredible visuals throughout the year.
Well, as well, the Abu Dhabi Sphere does not yet have a confirmed construction or opening date, and we don't know how much will it cost.
But what we do know is the Vegas Sphere, with its finalized and stunning, dazzling LED exterior, which we're going to have the same, and this immersive interior as well, that cost $2.3 billion. Making it the most expensive entertainment venue ever built in Las Vegas in 2023. When it was announced, I had to Google what the Sphere was, because there was rumors, again, these rumors, that dropped a few days ago that this was coming to Dubai. And I was like, what is the Sphere? And now I understand it as this, also, by the way, year-round, so summer ain't got nothing on it, year-round entertainment venue. And for example, U2 had their residency there, and people just said in terms of like an immersive, like visual experience, it's just out of this world.
I mean, honestly, there's no doubt that it's going to be a success, and there's no doubt that it's visually amazing and visually entertaining, of course. However, what my main focus is on how the UAE is actually implementing all of those amazing projects from all around the world, whether it's Las Vegas or whether it is the Yeah, mainly Las Vegas because we have heard
the UFC as well.
the gaming and there's a lot of things that are coming to the UAE. I'm just like thinking, you know what? I think I said that on the show earlier that I remember a friend told me that they called the UAE the Arab Las Vegas. So now that is like more, I would say, embedded in my brain. The more.
But I would think the differentiation will be that it's purely focused on entertainment. So world-class entertainment, whether it's sports, fun, concerts, shows, and just bringing the best in class to the region, which means we can skip the flight to the States. If you want more information on that, you can check it out on our Instagram account. Jumping into our next story, speaking of rumours.
Speaking of rumours that Casey has been talking about, is Casey the Dubai gossip girl? I don't know, because there's a Dubai-based gossip girl who's showing up on everyone's For You page on TikTok. Now, spotted on TikTok, a mysterious Dubai-based gossip queen making waves across the UAE's TikTok scene. And no, this is not a scene from the iconic Upper East Side, but rather a thrilling UAE twist on the beloved TV drama.
So we were going to talk a little bit on it. However, it's basically spilling tea on UAE students and influencers. And when I first saw it, and it's done the thing where the person who's sharing the stories, their identity is hidden, dropping rumors. And you know, when I first saw the name, I kind of got a bit excited about it. I thought it'd be fun. But when you go into it,
it's not fun.
I don't know how much of a platform we should give it because. To be on the receiving end, because a quick look at some of the stuff that's being said, to be on the receiving end of that, I don't know how harsh they are. I haven't gone through the whole account, but like if there's anything that's unfair, you don't want to promote something that's being nasty to people online.
I mean, whether it's during school or during university, between kids, I don't like call them kids, but between children, a lot of drama might happen. And specifically between girls, and I had seen the page before I had come on the show, and it's kind of like quite chaotic in a way. They're kind of like trying to like stir the pot, to create drama,
right?
To make a story out of nothing, which is, I would say, kind of like toxic. I don't like how like girls, or not only girls, like children right now, like whether they're in school or they're in university, they're taking inspiration from TV dramas that are totally based off fiction and implementing it onto their lives. I think it's toxic.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's just surprising that when you see the page, the views it has is just astronomical. So I think that people kind of lean into it, but not up in here. Although I have to say, big fan of the show. Yeah, big fan of the fiction show.
I had watched it twice. It's nice, it's fun, but it is not nice when it's like real life. It's obviously fiction,
right?
So 100%. Maybe it's better if we, because we're human, right? Like when you go watch a movie and you get inspired by a certain character, you leave the movie and you're like, oh my God, you're that character.
I'm Elle Woods.
Yeah, for example, you never know. Or like start acting like the character, which is fine. It's totally understandable. But to have a whole, like it's not like one person involved in this. It's like a lot of people are getting dragged into it, and that is kind of like not these. It's not a healthy. I would say like route for Dubai.
Yeah,
the Dubai community.
Agree with you, and we want to stick and steer towards positivity, which is what our next guests are doing. They have launched a new mental health podcast in Dubai that's firmly focused on improving your mental health for expats. They'll be joining us after this very short break, so please stay tuned. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today we're joined by Kat and Yvonne, the duo behind the brand new podcast You Have Got This. With a combined experience of 28 years living and working in Dubai, they are all too familiar with mental health challenges that we face. So in a city that prioritizes lifestyle and happiness, their podcast dives deep into the very real struggles we're facing, especially that comes with being an expat in Dubai. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Congratulations on the launch. I think it launched on Mental Health Day.
Yes.
Very needed, I must say. So what inspired you guys to launch it?
You can go ahead,
Well, I mean, you know, both Kat and I, as you said, we've lived in Dubai for 28 years. And, you know, we've worked in Dubai for that amount of time. And we've also understood, you know, the challenges of living abroad as an expat, moving from your home country, coming out here and, you know, the social isolation that can happen, trying to make new friends, working, you know, in a new environment, whether it's corporate or somewhere else, being a stay-at-home mum, trying to, you know, also get your kids into school, trying to make friends, you know, with your kids' friends' parents, all that together can, you know, cause a few stressful challenges. Yeah. And it's unique, you know, to what we experience back home because we have that stepping stone of, you know, knowing your friends from high school, you have the family support, but coming out to a new country where the culture is different can be a little bit overwhelming for an expat. So, yeah, that's why we started and we're super excited about it. And I think, you know, one of the main reasons is because we wanted expats to have the opportunity to share their stories and their narratives amongst.
They're so interesting.
Yes,
and diverse.
And everyone has a different expat story. And you know, it's interesting to hear how you moved abroad, and it's interesting to also hear if any expats have been dealing with any struggles. How did you do it? How did you manage? What did you do? Who did you seek help?
It's so true, and thank you for shining a light on it because these are all very real daily challenges that we face. Congratulations on the look and feel of the show, by the way.
Yeah.
The background looks amazing. That's an LED, or is that real?
It's LED. Yeah. It's very fancy. I'm like, wow, it's in Dubai.
It looks amazing. And I really enjoyed the topic of the second episode, which just dropped, understanding the fine line between worry and anxiety, because the word anxiety is thrown around so much. So I guess the question on that episode is, at what point, anyone watching today, do you seek professional help? How do you know it's anxiety versus a little bit of worry?
Thank you. It's a really important question to be able to answer. So basically, when we see anxiety interfering with your daily functioning, okay, maybe a week we're not so worried, but if it's happening for like a 2-week period, we would strongly encourage you to go and seek supports. That might be, you know, first protocol might even be to a GP, okay? They're more and more becoming, you know, more well-trained in terms of mental health support, and then they might be able to direct you or give you a recommendation to a mental health professional. But I wouldn't let it go longer than 2 weeks because even if it's, and we were trying to also talk about destigmatizing mental health supports, because a lot of people misunderstand it and they think it's this big, scary, serious situation when really, okay, I'm a therapist, I'm a person-centered therapist. It's very, person-centered, meaning we have a conversation and we discuss, you know, what are going to be some strategies that you can try and implement in your own life. So I really, part of what we're very passionate about is normalizing it a little bit, that, I describe myself as an anxious person. It's not something that you can flick the switch and now I'm not anxious. It's not that. It's a dial. You turn it down a little bit with the strategies that you can learn in therapy or through a really good self-help book. But this is what I'd encourage people to do.
And before we dive a little bit deeper, I'd love to just talk on like mental health and the language we use around it.
Yeah.
Can I say I'm an anxious person, although I've never spoken to a doctor? And for example, if my partner is feeling something, can I label that as because I've Googled something online, like at what point do you have any tips on, you know, labeling things with your family and friends and partner, or how you describe yourself?
I think, exactly I mean, you know, you don't want to, like, for example, you don't want to feel anxious and then go and look online on social media and hear a couple of things and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm an anxious person, because, you know, they've mentioned a few tick boxes that you experience. I think first and foremost, if you feel anxious, like Kat said, there are certain therapists and, you know, professionals that can help with a diagnosis. But I think what we're trying to do as, you know, a portal is to remove the stigma, and instead of you sitting there at home going, I'm anxious, I don't know what to do, you know, turning to some of the stories as expats on You've Got This and saying, hey, they were also anxious. This is how they did it. Oh, these are some tools that Kat and Von have come up with that could help me with this. Actually, that hasn't helped. I'm going to have to seek, professional help.
But I think we need to sort of also destigmatize the word anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, okay, depression, anxiety, sadness, grief, joy, these are all emotions that are available for us to feel, and they're all welcome if we let them be welcome. When we start to sort of label ourselves, I am anxious, sometimes you're not anxious. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, all are okay. And when we're talking about like clinical levels, this does require like a mental health professional to go through a lot of, a very thorough process about providing a diagnosis. So with our loved ones, it's better to just say, oh, you're having worry thoughts or you're having some anxious thoughts. What can we do? We can breathe, we can reground, we can talk about, we can validate your feelings. And these are the everyday strategies that would benefit anyone, really.
I love the strategies. I love the tools. And I always find that, something can be bubbling up in your head. And then when you speak to someone who has an expert advice and then you get the tools and strategies to implement them, they're always helpful. So if we could deep dive into some of the topics that you guys discuss, such as loneliness. We're in a city packed with people, so many events going on all the time, but I'm sitting in my apartment, I'm single. I'm a 28-year-old woman and I haven't been able to make friends. I see this on Facebook groups all the time.
I do. I see it all the time, and it's another reason why we started this podcast and this community as well, because it is it is a situation that affects us all. Like, what do you do? But I think the important thing is to recognize it and get out there. Get out there and expose yourself to. There's so many things in Dubai. Dubai is an amazing, amazing place to meet new people and to experience new hobbies. Have a think about some of the things that, you enjoyed doing in the past and get out there and do it. Hiking, there's so many sporting groups out there. There's so much to do in Dubai. I mean, completely different to Australia. How would you say it is in the UK? Is there so much out there? I mean, most places close. By what time?
8 p.m.
Yeah, you're in bed. But here it's just such a bustling cosmopolitan city. And I don't think I've been in the country for 18 years. I've never met anyone that's been, not wanting to talk, not wanting to have a conversation. So I think we're very friendly as expats as well.
What are some of the qualities that, because expat culture, we're different, where we've taken a big step out of our comfort zone. What other qualities are true to expats? Well, they're outgoing in a lot of ways to make that big move. And I think we've all been there. So approaching someone is not as awkward as it is maybe in Sydney, and, people will want to connect with you.
Because we have a common goal. We all run with a common goal as expats. We came out here for possibilities and opportunities. And I think that sometimes we do forget that we've done that. And that is just confidence. Those are skills that you have. Confidence, resilience. What else? There's an endless list. And I think sometimes, and I think we cover this on a podcast, sometimes as expats, we need to step back and go, it's okay to sometimes feel stress. It's okay to feel anxious, but also taking a step back and going, look at the amazing thing that I did. I moved abroad. And, there's lots of different situations, whether you've moved with a partner or you had your kids here, or you moved with your kids, or you came for an amazing job. These are unique, amazing stories that are very, very unique to Dubai. And I think we should talk about it a lot more. And I think talking about sometimes the struggles that people have, because it's very unique, So,
I agree. We're surrounded by like-minded people that are all willing to embrace new friendships, hopefully. Although you mentioned struggles, you touched on struggles, and there's this old school of thought that it might say that, mental health could be exaggerated. And I sometimes feel that, we're all sitting in such a privileged position here in Dubai with what's going on in the world around us. So do you find that some people are nearly afraid to vocalize their mental health, afraid to say they're feeling anxious, or afraid to say this is going on because of what's going on around them? And what would you say to people who are struggling, but maybe they can't validate their struggles because they see what's happening in the world around them?
Yeah, and I think that is such a valid point. And really, everyone's experience is their experience, and we cannot, devalue or invalidate someone's personal experience. Of course, we're sympathetic and empathetic to what is happening, but that doesn't necessarily take away from a 16-year-old's, struggles with anxiety or, friendship issues or whatever it is. And I think the more empathetic and the more compassionate we can be, just generally in terms of people's mental health, okay, the greater service we're doing to the world in general, right? Like, I feel even we've progressed so far, but it's still this idea that if you're physically unwell, you would call in sick and you wouldn't go to work, and people would understand that. But sometimes we see, a mental illness as very serious, and they won't just take the day off to deal with that mental health challenge. So I think the more empathy, compassion, education we can have around it, the normalising of it, the more people that can say, I've struggled with this and this is how I managed it. It's just sort of hopefully contagious, the fact that we can have those supportive conversations that do everyone justice.
I agree. And what are your thoughts on self-diagnosis without seeking a professional?
Well, no, absolutely not. Do not, there is so much on social media at the moment that,
it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, and a lot of it is misinformation. Go to a licensed professional, someone that is experienced in diagnosing, and that's where.
And just to clear that up, so in Dubai, there's a regulating body that ensures the mental health professionals are licensed and are credible, and they're the people that you need to have those diagnosis conversations with. And maybe it's a conversation, it doesn't lead to a diagnosis. That's also possible and common, I would say.
And I would say in my own personal experience that when you speak to a professional, you get great, as we said earlier, tools and strategies back, which is what I want to delve into right now, because people who are experiencing some of the topics that you talk about, it's the tools that will help them out of it. So for example, if we're talking about people experiencing burnout at different stages in their career, what, in your professional opinion, does burnout look like? And what would you recommend to someone who feels like they've hit kind of a wall at work?
Burnout and stress are like very, very closely knit, but they're different. Okay, so when we're struggling with stress at work, we tend to go into like anxious mode and we tend to try and do more. Burnout is a quality where you literally have nothing left to give. You are empty, the cup is depleted, you're not able to function at work. And this is it's an important distinction that needs to be made, because often work can lead to stress. Sometimes it's good stress, sometimes not so much. But when we slip into the burnout category, you really need to put your hand up and ask for help. I used to, I was a teacher, I was a school counsellor, and I used to think, burnout, it's not going to happen to me. Oh, was I wrong? My gosh, it just, for me, and I don't know if this has happened to other people, but it was like one day I was fully functioning and the next day I was burnt out. I would have imagined, I just didn't notice the decline. There would have been one, but it was like full empty, and this is where the idea of relentless self-care, this is a term we use to describe the type of self-care that's needed, psychological self-care, to not let you get to the point where you're completely empty and have nothing left to give. So
absolutely, you have to, it's like going to the gym. We go to the gym, to stay healthy. We eat nutritious food to fuel our bodies. There has to be an element of brain gym as well, where you are practicing self-care, mindfulness, doing grounding activities, and most importantly, talking about it. Go speak to your, at the end of the day, what do we do if we feel burnout? Talk to your partner, talk to your friends, talk to your boss. Be open about it. A lot of companies in Dubai have got a lot of good mental health initiatives that you can reach out to that maybe you didn't know about. And so it's so important. And I think that that's exactly what gets rid of the stigma as well, those open, deep conversations.
Do you have advice on maybe low-cost ways that people can, conversations are free, but are there any low-cost support systems in the city that people can look towards?
So I think this is also partly why we want to put this platform together. On our website, we've made sure that we can put really reputable resources that people can access for free, obviously, and that's a good starting point. Okay, because again, we're not just Google doctoring it. We're really looking at evidence-based strategies, worksheets, journaling is obviously free, so things that deepen your own self-awareness about your inner world are really valuable and free a lot of the time, okay? Conversations, and I would add with a trusted mentor, I would add with a trusted boss, you need to feel safe that the conversation is confidential if it needs to be. So these types of conversations can happen in the workplace, but there's also online groups.
Yeah, there is. And I think, a really simple strategy, and we've talked about this so many times, because I think at the end of the day, it's that think, feel, behave. We go and have 1 million thoughts. What is it? There's
70,000 thoughts.
Yeah, every minute.
A day. Women,
I swear it's every minute. I have 70,000 thoughts a minute, And especially when you're burnt out, especially when you're not feeling your best. And I think the first thing to do is to think about some of the thoughts that you're having and put them down in a journal and validate them. Are they true? Where's the evidence? And if they're true, what can I do about it? What's the plan? What's the plan of attack? And I think that as a takeaway, for anyone can be quite important.
It is. When we have a bit of
in our heads a lot.
Yeah, we talk a lot about thoughts because we just automatically default to believing everything that goes through our mind. But really, we need a bit of distance from those thoughts because they're not all helpful and they're not, necessarily needing action. They're not serious. They're just thoughts. So we talk a lot on the podcast about this because even when we're working with young people and making them aware that just because you've thought it doesn't mean it's real life.
Exactly. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. And I think one of the other important thing is to also start becoming a bit of a cheerleader for yourself.
Self-talk,
that inner critic. We all have that inner critic. As soon as we start cheerleading for ourselves, like how are we taught from a young age? Your parents say, "Don't think like that. Think positively," and then we forget.
Feel sad.
Don't feel cry. Yeah. What are some positive things about that? That's about this situation, and I think we need to get back to basics as well, and start doing a little bit of that, putting evidence to some of our negative thoughts.
Love that. Some amazing takeaways there from the co-hosts of You've Got This podcast. Just to very briefly give another rundown as to what the podcast is, because you mentioned you're going to have people coming on the show as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So really we wanted this to be a platform for, to celebrate expat stories, to talk about firsthand, when you relocated, obviously you would have encountered challenges. How did you overcome them? And share those success stories. Hopefully they're success stories. Because this normalizes things for people, when you can hear, oh, I thought it was just me feeling that.
Yeah.
I think that a lot as a mum, I'm like, oh, you also feel that? Oh, wow. That it makes it okay. So much of it is hidden and not talked about. But if we can bring it out into the open more and, a strategy from a real person that has also lived that is so valuable for all of us. Selfishly, we're also interested in understanding what those things are. But this is a big part of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And where can people listen?
So we are on Spotify and YouTube. If you go to our Instagram handle at you'vegottthis.ae, you can find our link to the podcast. You can find a link to resources on our website, free resources. And we encourage listeners to comment. Comment and reach out to us, because we also want to know what you guys want to listen to. And, in terms of issues, do you want more strategies, simple strategies like the validating of thoughts? What else can we talk about?
Right.
So, yeah.
Kat and Yvonne, thank you so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That brings us to the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Oh my God.